What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in on Thursday night. Got a special video going on tonight. I'm going to name my 2020 Bourbon of the Year. We're going to do it blind style. So what we got lined up tonight, we have Elijah Craig Barrel Proof A120, George Dickel Bottled in Bond, Wild Turkey Master's Keep Bottled in Bond 17-year-old, Bullet Blender Select, and Maker's Mark, what's it called? 2020 limited edition. Got a bunch of numbers and shit behind it too, but we'll just call it 2020 LE. So I'm just going to go ahead and jump right in and start nosing these. I had my wife pour them for me earlier, same as usual. So let's kick it off. First one's kind of corny, got a lot of kind of sawdusty. It's probably Dickel. Just off the nose. I'm not going to rake them that way, by the way. Sweet, orange, creamy. Good start. Take a sip in between. I try to kind of separate these a bit and then come back through. A lot of cinnamon on number 2 here. See the fancy painter's tape that we've got on the bottom. A lot of cinnamon and fruit notes. It's really good too. There's a little grain on the finish. That one's got a bit of funk in it too. There's some orange up front. Well, finish keeps going and going. It's got some oak in it for sure. I'm going to put that number 1. For now, we'll rank them first. Try to separate them into tiers if we can, and then come back through and see what we end up with. This guy right here is looking dark compared to the others. Stone fruit. There's some age on this one too. Whew, that's nice. Wow. All right, the nose was a lot brighter, or the palate was a lot brighter than the nose. It had a pretty dark smell to start with, but it was pretty bright, fruity coming in on the palate. I'm going to put that number 2 right now. You know, the only problem with doing them this way is something like Wild Turkey, the 17-year-old Bottled in Bond. When I drank that one, when I did the review, it took probably 3 good pours for me to get through it because I just kept pulling more and more out. It's so complex, but I mean, that's what you get with a blind. Okay, this one's butter toffee. Wow, that's really nice. Loving the nose on this one. So different than the other one so far. A lot of toffee, butterscotch, not flavors, caramel, vanilla. All sweet. I'm going to put that number 1. I'm digging that. Digging that sweetness on that. Really good. All right, so let's go. This is number 5. So after we do this, go back. I'll do side by sides to move up or down. Okay, wow. A lot of difference in what we got going on here. So this one's really floral. A lot of nice floral notes, some honey. Beautiful nose. It was light and delicate coming in. But then some spice picks up in the mid palate. It really starts to build. There's some spice into the finish. Get a nice oak structure on the back side of it. I'm going to put that solidly at number 3. All right, so let's start the process. We'll start with 5 versus 4, and then we'll move on down. Let me get a sip of water. Oh, man, I have a little banner here we forgot to throw up. Hold on. Boom. 2020 Bourbon of the Year Blind Battle. This is definitely Dickel. Nice orange and honey, some black pepper. It's nice. It's really good. I mean, it made it to the top 5 of the year. So I'm sure, like I said in the other video when I did the Rise, I'm sure there's better bourbons out there than these. Obviously, there's no Pappies, there's no BTACs. These are, the best 5 bourbons that I drank this year. So, I mean, that's what it is. So this isn't, I'm not saying these are the best 5 on the market. These are the best 5 that I had this year. All right, a lot different nose going on this one than on the first one. That's Dickel. Got the cinnamon. If that's not Dickel, shoot me. I should know that if I know anything. Ooh, that's really good. Apple, cinnamon, oak. The finish keeps going. A lot of oak, a bit of funk. That is good. That's really good. So number 5 is going to stay at number 5. So next we'll do 4 versus 3. Since we just had 4, move over to 3 and then come back. Oh, so this is the one with the floral nose, honey and vanilla. Really nice and really nice. Just a different change of pace. Spice comes in on the mid palate. Floral sweetness comes back. There's some oak there to balance it out. So that's nice. So let me get another sip of water. We'll go back and see how that stacks up with number 4. It's funky. It's funky. I like it. It's dark, deep. It's spicy. Leather. I'm going to guess this is one of the higher aged ones. I don't know. We've got Dickel's 11. I'm going to guess the Bullet's around 10. Turkey 17. Elijah Craig we know is 12. Maker's Mark probably about 8 years or something. So the one with the high age with the funk, the leather, the spice, I'm going to move that up to number 3 for now. So we'll go with number 3 versus number 2, and we'll see where that leaves us at. All right. Let's start with number 2 here since we just had number 3. It's nice. It's a bit lighter. It's not real light, though. There's a lot going on with it. Peanutty down in there. Once again, that one's just a lot lighter or brighter, I'll say, on the palate. There's a lot of dark oak type high age that you get from high aged oak flavors coming out in that one. Well, more so on the nose than you get on the palate even. It's good. It's just that the nose and the palate differ very much so. All right, so let's see if this guy can move from 4 to 2. Stone fruits and funk. Funky stone fruit stew or something. Yeah. So it's going to move from 4 to 2. The more I sip on this one, the better it gets. It's really good. It's just there's just more layers to it. There's just more going on. And the more I come back to it, the more I'm picking up. All right, so here it is. The battle for the number 1. Bourbon for the Masses, Bourbon of the Year in the Blind Challenge. I'll have an article coming out tomorrow. We got some other things in there. I'll mention those before we go through the rankings here. So let's start with the one that initially ranked number 1. Oh, it's super sweet. Almost artificially sweet now after coming back through the field. Toffee. It's really just straight up toffee, vanilla. It's all sweetness. Excuse me. All sweetness. Not a lot of spice going on. All right. All sweet and toasty. That toasted marshmallow type note comes through along with all that caramel stuff. This is a straight up dessert whiskey. And I'm a sucker for those. As you know, the sweeter the better for me, as long as it's not that artificial type sweetness. Something funky goes on there. I don't really care for those, but this one, money. Straight up dessert whiskey. So let's come back to this one. The final tasting. I'm going to have to put that number 1. The spice, the oak, the leather, vanilla, cinnamon. There's just so much going on. I'm going to have to put that number 1. You know, complexity is something I look for. And whatever this number 1 guy is here, complexity in spades. So before I come back through here and reveal what these are, I'm going to go ahead and throw out that the other awards that I'm going to give out for Bourbon of the Year, Craft Bourbon of the Year, is going to go to Still Austin. Still Austin put out a really good product this year. I think I rated it a B. Maybe it's the Texas heat. Maybe it's the way they're topping it off with water. But whatever's going on there, they're getting far more out of that bourbon than the age indicates. The other one I'm going to call Small Distribution. I think that's what I call the rye that went to the Pursuit Series. Small Distribution is going to Jack Daniel's High Angel Share. And I call it Small Distribution because it was released as a Tennessee Taster. And as far as I know, those are only available in Tennessee. So it didn't get a lot of distribution, but damn, that was a good whiskey. So let's reveal, starting with number 5. This is the one that I'm pretty sure was Dickel. This is A. A is Dickel. All right, so Dickel comes in 5th. And when I reviewed this one, I said it was really good, but it wasn't as good as last year's that I actually gave Bourbon of the Year to. So 5th best Bourbon of the Year. Not too shabby for Dickel. In 4th place, we have D. D is Wild Turkey. I'm a bit let down by that. But like I said, you know, in these blind situations, you don't get to do one of these videos. I don't get to spend as much time with it as I would when I do a review. That Wild Turkey bottled and bond is one that needs time. You sit back, you keep pulling more and more flavors out of it as it goes on. But it comes in 4th place here. Next one, E. So 3rd place, Bullet Blender Select. This was a surprise for me this year. I've not been a big Bullet fan in the past. Their bourbon has not done a lot for me. In any sense, I've had the barrel strength didn't do that much for me. Some of the picks haven't done that much for me. But man, this Blender Select, they knocked it out of the park with that one. Number 2, this is that dessert whiskey. B. So this is the Maker's Mark SE4 PR5 2020 LE. So that leaves us one thing, and it had the complexity. We kept coming back to it. Started out in 4th place, moved up to 2nd place, and the winner for Bourbon of the Year from Bourbon for the Masses, Elijah Craig Barrel Proof A120 is my Bourbon of the Year. Not totally shocked there. That was a really good one. This is my 3rd bottle, actually. So congratulations. Be sure to check in tomorrow night. We got a live stream going on. It's the last Fresh Crack Friday of the year. We're going to do some bottle kills. We're going to talk about the worst whiskeys of the year. I got the Bourbon DJ and crew joining in. We got a full house for that one. If you like what you saw here, make sure to subscribe. Make sure to like the video. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Bourbon for the Masses. And also you can get on my Discord page. That's where a lot of the action goes on at. If you're not on my Discord page, that's where the new riff barrel pick is going down at. So make sure to get on there. Thank you guys, and we'll see you again next time.